The Bible is a, you don't have to read it physically, you can actually just listen to it.
Yeah.
So there's that concept
Yes,
as well.
yes.
That you could listen to a book as opposed to flipping the pages or scrolling as you read it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's also a personal preference. Like the Bible has such wonderful short stories, and especially like children's Bibles.
Right.
They have lovely pictures in them. So for children, you know, a lot of what they gravitate towards are the illustrations. Yeah. So when they're listening, it's not the same visual effect, right?
Right.
For adults, you don't need the images so much. So like listening is fine. Or maybe as children grow older, the listening is fine. But to get them interested at this young age, from an early age, the pictures are really a big part of that experience. You know, looking at the visuals, getting excited, it brings it to life in a different way, you know. So for me, I think for young kids and getting them interested, getting them engaged, the visuals are really an important part of that experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you say then that reading from an early age for children, that it can help a parent even identify any of those reading challenges, like say dyslexia and those many other issues that come with reading?
I think that you'll be, so dyslexia is a bit, I think you'll be able to engage with your children's ability at whatever level that they are at. And you will become a bit more informed and a bit more in tune about what your child is struggling with at school, what she's maybe good at, right? He or she. I think it just gives you a bit more of an insight to your child's ability at whatever level they're at. Now, for things like that, you may have to go and see a professional, but you might pick up on something during that moment that says, I'm not sure. Let me talk to the teacher about how she reads in school. Let me talk to the teacher if she struggles with particular words or phrases, you know what I mean? So it just gives you a bit more of an insight into your child's learning ability. We don't spend the day with them in school. We don't know, you know, how that day goes. So in those 5-10 minutes of reading with them, you can get quite a lot from your child's learning abilities.
Okay. And the language to use, you know, the English books, the Kiswahili books, and perhaps if the kid knows any other language, could be French, could be Chinese, and whatever. So what are your books in what language?
So the Supelisu or?
No, let's start with Supelisu.
So Supelisu is in English. Right. It has some Swahili words mixed up in there, which are translated throughout the book.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a sort of, it's a comic style book for ages around 6 to 11 years to read on their own. But the illustrations, they're deliberately like comic, they're quite fun, done by some Kenyan illustrators called the Tsunami Studio. And they've really brought it to life in a really fun and creative way, so younger kids can enjoy the pictures quite a lot.
Right. So the few Swahili words that you say is for it to suit our market, because that's how we speak.
Yes.
We put a few Kiswahili words here and there.
Yes.
Okay.
A few Kiswahili words here and there. You know, Supelisu, I really wanted a story that is urban living in a Kenyan city, right? Kind of modern, fun, how we speak. We may speak English, but we throw in some words here and there, you know? Really bringing the day-to-day city living vibe of a young girl in school to life.
Right. Yeah. So you see exactly, you can relate with it.
You can
relate. And it's not something that is a very foreign concept.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And so what about books in other languages as well?
Yeah, I think there's a big push to have books in another language. And I think that's so important because we've lost a lot of that, right? And I'm really excited when I see that coming back, taking pride in local language books, you know?
Right.
Taking pride in them, looking for them, and again, reading them with your kids, you know? So much of, I mean, history, it's all about who tells the story. It's all about who tells the story.
Right.
And as you grow older, you realize that. And at one point, I was like, oh my goodness, you know what? We can tell our own stories. We can tell tell our own stories. We can tell our stories that we want our children to read
right.
and be inspired by. We can tell our own stories. And that was a big driver for me in writing Supelisu. They are reading books that come from all over, and what they are associating with fun, cool, all these kind of superhero type books or images
right.
in their mind. The image of a superhero does not look like them and does not come from here.
Right.
Because that's what they see. That's the content that feeds them, right? Heroes, superheroes, strength, courage, fun.
That is all they want to see.
That's all they want to see. And
True.
where do they get that from? So subconsciously, it's embedding that, okay, all that cool stuff happens way over there, not here.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? We can tell our own stories. We can bring that cool stuff here. Why not?
Right.
Why not?
In our own way.
In our own way.
Make it very relatable.
Yes.
Right. And we do have to take a very short break. Remember our conversation this